Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Nez Porter at you. Today, we're going to be installing this cooktop countertop here. I believe that's what they call them. So, this is a 220 or 240 outlet. So, I'm going to take off these cover here. This 4-inch junction box cover. That's what they call it, 4-inch junction box. And you don't have to take the screws all the way out. Just take it out enough where the plate can come out of there. So now we got the wires. So we got a ground here. We got a red, which is hot. The other red, which is hot. Then we have a neutral right here. We're not using the neutral in this application. We also got a ground in there too. That should be grounded to the box somewhere. See, it's not, but you know, always ground it to this one then. So this one will make it ground to the box because this is onto the box. So this kind of loose too. Let's tighten it up while we got it out. Give this a little tweak. That should be pretty snug. There we go. You always want a good strong bond to the box, just in case. So the white wire we just push all the way in because we're not gonna really use that one. How about we do this? Push the grounds out like that, so those could go together when we tie it in. Alright, here we go. Let's keep it like that. So we're gonna use the red and the black, which is 120, 120. I call it 240 because we don't have the connector on the end, so we're going to install the connector right there. Let me see if I can show you guys how to put the connector on. It's going to be a little tough, but if I can sit it down so you can see it, right there should be good. So basically, you got this is your connector right here. It has 2 screws. Either use a Phillip or a flat. You kind of make it universal. Make sure you put it on the right way, not the wrong way. So if you put it on this way, it's the wrong way. You want the threads always facing out. So make sure the threads are facing out. So we're gonna stick these wires through here. Take your time and push this in as far as you can get it. Kind of, yeah, so that's tight right there. You want as far as you can get it in. Now you're gonna just turn the screws tight. Kind of try to balance them out a little bit too. Try not to do one side too much, so give it even fit. So that's pretty snug right there. And the purpose of this is just to keep it so the wires don't pull out of the box. So let's set this over here while I pick that up, and I'm going to place it in this little hole right here. It's going to be kind of tough to show you what I'm doing, but I'm going to do the best I can. Pick it up, drop the wire down first, now gently push this in there, so that's in. Now I'm going to show you how we connect it underneath. Just take your time. Red to red, black to black, ground to green or green to bare. I don't know if I can get this to face up there. Maybe it's not going to work that way. Well, see if I can get a better angle. That's probably the best angle I can get without it falling. do it this way. Gotta be a little creative, I guess. Is it where there's a will, there's a way? If I go like this, it's gonna give you a little. It's probably the best I can do without. Alright, so we're gonna connect these wires up and go from there. I'm gonna crawl up into here, lay on my back, give you guys a better view on how I do this. So first I'm gonna stick the wires on. Put the little nut. There's a little nut right here. I don't know if you guys can see that little nut. But that nut is what retains the connector so it don't pull to the box. Without that little nut, the wires would just pull straight out. And that's what you're trying to avoid happening. Try to make it so the screws are facing towards you rather than facing the wall if you can. Like the screws are facing out this direction. It's just something that makes it look a little bit better. It doesn't have to be that way, but it looks a lot neater when you do it that way. I'm trying to do this blind, so I can't really see where the nut is, so I'm just gonna try to feel it with my hand and see if I can spin it on there. Okay, that's on there now. Now some people use a pliers. I just use the flat part of the screwdriver and spin it. So you take it and you just push until you get it nice and snug. I'm just trying to do it. Normally I be like looking at it. So I'm kind of doing it blindly because I'm trying to give you an idea of what I'm doing. So we got those in there. So I'm going to start with my ground wire first. So take off this cap. I'm going to put the ground wire on the bare wire, which is the green on the bare, and this stranded all on the same thing. Line them up like just tight like that. And I stuck the stranded wire in first so it catches on the two coppers. So just gotta give it a good, there we go, one more turn. Yeah. Okay. You always want to make sure it's snug because you don't want these coming off. You don't want those coming off on you. Now, but keep in mind you're putting stranded wire on a solid copper. So make sure there's no strands sticking out. Now, we got a choice. Red or black, doesn't matter. We'll pick the black next. So, we're going to take this black. Now, some people do this without shutting the power off. I recommend shutting the power off because you don't want mistakes. I have done it without shutting the power off before, but in reality, you should shut the power off. You just want to be safe. You only do that unless there's no other options. I've done a few of these without shutting the power off. You just got to be more careful not to ground yourself out. Okay, that's nice and tight. Alright, so we get the second one in there. Okay, now we're going to do the red. Same thing. Make sure there's no strands sticking out. Make sure your wires are straight. Put the stranded just a little bit tad in front of the copper. copper. So when the wire that goes over it is going over the stranded first. Well, in this sense, they're both stranded, but one's a solid copper stranded, like a thicker gauge, and the other one's like a looks like a silver or something stranded. Okay, get a couple more turns on this. You want to make sure it's snug. It doesn't go nowhere. Okay, so that's get that in there. Where's the cover? Get the cover on there. Then we can put that over there for now. Take your time, no rush. Okay, just gonna tighten this up a little bit. It would help if you flip the screw over. It's in there. Okay. We have this little hook here to keep it out the way. So we're gonna I don't know if this is gonna try and see. Guess it will stay. Didn't think it was gonna stay. Just stand by with me for 1 second, guys, and see what's going on here. Okay, so we get it all connected. We might as well check to make sure it's working since we're already here. Power's turned on. Let's see what we got here. So we got power. It is getting hot, as you guys can see it. So it's working. I'm gonna get them all fired up, make sure they're all working properly. And I'm gonna call this this light is a hard surface indicator. Hard surface indicator. So even though you shut it off, and I see in red, so that's a good thing. So even though you shut it off, it still stays red until the burners are off. Now, well, actually, this I'm sorry, this is it right here. That's actually the power one. This is the indicator right here. All these stoves are different. So all 4 of those are on because of the indicators sense that it's still hot. So whenever you see these on, don't touch it. Don't put your hand on it like that because obviously you're going to burn your hand. So when those go off, then that goes off. So this is a handicap unit, by the way. So I want to show y'all something else. See how we have the high and low up here? And you're probably saying, why this is not working? On, off, it's not doing nothing. In the handicap unit, what you do is you leave this on, you could pick and choose whether you want a high or low. Usually put it on low. And the actual controller is down here. Now that's where these two switches come in handy, because if you want to control just the light, you control just the light. Or you want to control just the fan, you just control the fan. So that's on. I don't know if you can hear it. For some reason the light didn't come on. I don't know what's going on. There's no bulb in there, so that explains why there's no light. But so this stays on. Keep it on high. You can hear it now. And then that shuts it off. This would be the light if there was a light inside there, but there's no bulb in there. So I figure I'll share this information with you guys. The disposal is the same way. Disposal is here. Sounds like something's dragging in there. Not too sure what's in there. Maybe a piece of plastic. Doesn't feel like there's not much in there. Well, there was something making noise. Probably just a metal guide hitting the side of it. Well, sounds a lot better now. Alright, I figure I'd share that with you guys. You know, if you notice the handicap drain is not in the middle, that's another key thing. And the reason why they do that is so that you can get the wheelchair underneath without you hitting your knees. So a handicap sink, or should we say ADA or handicap, it's a little bit different, but handicap or ADA, you should have this in the corner. The drain should always be in the corner, it shouldn't be in the middle. So that's the difference. And then the height, I believe this height is 30 inches. I'm not too sure on the height. I believe it's 30 inches. I have to check that to make sure. I think it's 30 from the ground up. But that's just something I want to share with you guys. You know, if you're going to do it, try to do it the right way. That's all for today, guys. I'm Nez Porter, signing off on this one. Until next time.